Welcome, everyone. We have people trickling in, so we're going to give it about 30 seconds and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. Thank you for coming. You are in Aparo's Nonprofit Bites and Insights. These are our free webinar series where we invite experts and technology users and speakers from all different industries and companies to come share their expertise with us. So today we are wrapping up our Canva series with Shelley Tuttle. If you did not get a chance to view the first webinar on April 6th, that recording is up on our webpage. Highly recommend that you take a look at that. Shelley went over, provided a great introduction to Canva for nonprofits and went through some amazing features. So again, if you didn't get a chance to look at it, please do take a moment to take a look at that. I will be sending up a follow-up email. It'll have a direct link to that recording so that you don't need to search for it. So a few things before I officially turn it over to her again. Some things to note: all of our webinars are recorded and all of them are uploaded to our webpage. All of you who attend today will receive a follow-up email from me. It'll include those links to the recordings. It'll also include any slide decks, resources that we talk about during this webinar. Q&A and chat box is available for you to use. Feel free to drop in comments, questions at any time. I will be monitoring both, so use whatever you're comfortable with. Also, closed captioning is available if you'd like to use that. So really quickly, if you are new to Aparo, welcome. A little bit about us. We are a nonprofit ourselves. We are based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what we do is we help other nonprofits with their technology challenges and needs. The way that we do that is, you can see this model. This is what we do to serve our mission. So we connect nonprofits with skilled volunteers and corporations in the community in the areas of advice, education, and solutions so that we can support those nonprofits. So really the idea is to help nonprofits work more efficiently internally so they can do better, do more for the community and population that they serve. So our services are broken up into these three buckets. About 90% of our new nonprofits go through our advice bucket. This is where you meet one-on-one with a tech therapist, and you can think of it as a consulting hour. This is where you will talk about your challenges, your needs. Sometimes we have nonprofits that know exactly what they're looking for. Other times we have nonprofits that come in and say, I don't know what I need, I just need help. So we help with the entire spectrum. So those tech therapists will help guide you and make sure that you're getting the right service that you are looking for. Those services could include one-on-one coaching. It can include guidance, some mentorship. We have a program called Expert Link. So if you're looking for a vendor and you just don't know where to look because there's so many, we have vetted vendors and they often provide nonprofit discounts if you come through Aparo. We also offer customized team trainings. So if you're looking for a team training in anything technology-wise, it could be Excel, it could be Microsoft, it could be Google Workspace, it could be project management tool. We can create a tailored team training specifically to you and your staff. And of course, these nonprofit bites and insights, this is what you're attending right now. We also have solutions. These are our larger, longer-term projects. So examples of this could be if you're looking for a technology plan, if you are looking to analyze your business processes a little bit more and don't know where to start, we'll connect you with a team of volunteers to help make sure that you get that. And then finally, we do have a Mission Possible grant program that is open for those in the Triangle area of North Carolina. So if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area and you're interested in getting $10,000, to make your technology dream come true, I would highly recommend that you check that out. I will be including that in the follow-up email so that you can look into it a bit more. I do believe the deadline is around the end of May. These are the different ways to connect with us. If or when you decide that you want to connect with us for services, the best way is to go to our website and submit a request. If you'd like to stay updated on our programming, please subscribe to our email list. And then, of course, I am always available and happy to help you if you want to contact me directly. And then finally, if you like what we do, please consider writing a short Google review. All right, that is it for me. I will turn it over to Shelley right now.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. My name is Shelley Tuttle, and I work for, I've been in the nonprofit sector now for about 11 years. I work for an organization called Camp Lorecrest, which is a camp for kids in Lake Lure, North Carolina. And then I've also worked on PTAs and other nonprofits like that. So I'm familiar with the nonprofit world and familiar with being in a small nonprofit where someone like me, or maybe you guys, who maybe don't have any graphic design training, all of a sudden, have a job that requires some graphic design or marketing skills. And so that's how I learned Canva, was just picking it up through, that I had to all of a sudden had to do a job that I didn't know how to do. So I think it's a really user-friendly tool. I would recommend, anyone, even if you are a graphic designer. I know some people who've moved over from using Adobe products because it is so user-friendly and it's quick in a lot of ways. But couple things I just want to say at the beginning. One, I don't work for Canva. I'm not a Canva guru. I just have learned some things and I'm happy to share them. And Canva is much like, I'd say it's like working on Microsoft and Excel. You think you know it really well, and then the person next to you does something and I didn't know it could do that. And even more so, Canva is always adding new features, which is this really great thing. But it does also, there's stuff to keep up with. So those are my kind of caveats at the beginning. And now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I am using my Canva account for Camp Lorecrest. I actually started it as just one for me, and so I called it Camp Lorecrest. So Shelley Tuttle's account is specifically named Camp Lorecrest here. Like Yenting said, I did do kind of went through a lot of details in the last seminar, so I'm going to try not to repeat those things. There are a few things I'm just going to go a little more in depth in this time, and I'm trying to answer some questions too. So the one thing I know that I did cover last time, but want to say again, is that all nonprofits can get Canva Pro for free. You just have to apply for it, and it's a super simple, easy process, and it is absolutely worth it. And what that means is that, anything, Canva has a free version, and then they have a pro version that other organizations would pay for. And anything you see on Canva that has this little crown is part of the pro version, and it just gives you some extra, some extra features, some extra designs. It's absolutely worth doing. The first thing I want to show you, so after you've set up your Canva account and applied for the pro account, you could, I want to show you going over on the right side, clicking on, this little circle that's your account name, go to account settings. And this is where you're going to set up your team. So what is so great about Canva is that you can have a team in your organization where you all can share designs and work on designs together. So think about it in this way. This is one thing I want to give an example of in a little bit is the board presentation. We all know board presentations, that's part of being in a nonprofit. So I can create a board presentation, and I can also, my coworker can also go in and put her slides in, and my other coworker can put his slides in, and we can all work in the same document at the same time, even so. So it's great for that. So what you would do is you go to this was under account settings, and go to team details. It tells you, who the team is and how to manage the team. Clicking on down, you can go to the people. And so you can invite people up here to the team. You can decide what their role is, if they're going to be a member. You see, I'm the owner here of this team, but I have two other coworkers who are administrators, meaning they can add more people. And I think they have some, I'm not totally sure on all the things they're able to do, but they would have rights in terms of, adding people or giving permissions. So these are all the people on our Camp Lorcrest team. Going on to groups, you can also create smaller groups within your team. So within that team, there were about 8 or 10 people. There are 3 of us who really focus on design. So I have this one team called Design Team. You can create plenty of groups, as many as you want. And so sometimes I might just want to share things with them that I don't necessarily want to fill up in everybody else's Canva account. So that's what I would point out, these things here about how to create a team. And now I'm going to go into a design. I'm going to pull this design up here. And this is a design I've already created. And I'm going to show you how, once you're in a design, how you can share it amongst your team. If you click on share up here in the right-hand corner, you have here you can share by, so it shows that I'm the owner. You can add people. It shows my team. I can add my team. Do I want my team to be able to view it, just comment on it, or can they also edit it? So, I can choose for them to edit it, and then anyone on my team can pull this up and be in here at the same time. For commenting, you can do that if, so if you were looking at this and you wanted to comment, maybe use another photo or something like that. And then I would see that when I came in. So similar to any other kind of commenting like that you have in editing tools you have in Word and that type of thing, but that's a nice feature for sharing too. If you maybe just you don't want someone necessarily to change the design, but you want their feedback. So that's a good place for that. You can also undershare. So right now the collaboration link is only people who are added have access. So I've given access to the people on my team. However, let's say I want to give Yinting access. And so right now she wouldn't be able to do it. But if I change it to be, so then there's anyone from Camp Lorcrest team can access, which we had already added Camp Lorcrest, so that's fine. But then anyone with the link can edit, can view, can comment, however you want to do. So I could then send it to her just as a copy of the link, and then, copy the link and then send that to her by email or text or whatever. So it does give you an opportunity, even if someone's not on your team, to collaborate especially if you have like a one-off project kind of thing. So that it kind of covers from the team standpoint. I wanted to also talk about different ways that you use designs in Canva. So
Shelley, quick
sure.
quick question. I'm kind of trying to decipher this question, but she's asking, did you say you can pick which ones you can send things to?
You can pick which
Design?
people on your team have access. So I just chose the whole team, but let's say I don't want to share it with the team. I only want to share it with Darby, who I work with the most on graphic items. So I'll click on her, and then it could actually even send her an email to say, hey, check this out, and then send, and it would send her an email here. So you can choose individual people as well.
And you set permissions when you send the link, like view only, edit?
Yes. So when you're giving someone access, so here she's edit, can comment, can view, like I'm giving her access of which one of those she can do, and then sending a message.
Perfect, thank you.
And then also remember, I said I had the design team group. I could type in there design team, and it would pull up that group of people, which is listed here. So that's another.
So to share and comment, do other people need to have the same level? Sorry, let me ask the question. If you have pro, do others have to have the same level to share and comment?
I don't think so. Certainly not to comment and not to share, but maybe to edit. It may be that they can't, like if you use a graphic that's only pro version, they might not be able to add in, they're not going to be able to add in a pro version graphic. But to view it and to comment on it should be fine, because that's all done in the free version as well. Okay, so once you've created a graphic, there are a few ways that we use it generally. I think it kind of fits into 3 categories. One is for print. So I'm going to pull up another one. I am doing a banner. We are, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up without clicking on this thing. Okay, we're doing a golf tournament coming up, and I'm going to have this banner made for the golf tournament of our sponsors. So back over here under share, you have the choice if you so we did the share at the top, but then down at the bottom, it's ways to kind of send it out, basically. This is like who you want to share it with, and then how you want to share it outside of Canva. So print your design is you can print through the Canva printing. I haven't done it, so I don't have any kind of experience with it. It does seem pricier, but I'm sure there's some things that are a good price. But if you already do printing through like a online printer or even Staples or whatever, you do have to have a file. So clicking on print your design is printing through Canva. But if you want to print something, through Office Depot, let's say, then you would click on download. And then over here, you have several choices of file types. If you want it to be a PNG, you do have the option of how big you create it. So, if you're using it for for printing, you're going to want a higher resolution. So you may want to go, up to the top in terms of sizing, because you're going to get those more detailed picture. You can choose for it to have a transparent background as well. Most of the time, companies that are, they will take a PDF, and so if you go onto the file type and it says PDF best for printing, so Canva even kind of is tipping you off, like this is probably, if you're going to print it, this is probably the best one. So on here, you can also download it with the crop marks, which is basically whenever you're printing something, they're gonna, it there's bleed, there's time, times the ink may go farther. So you want all of your design to kind of go out where so there's no white space on the edge. So let's just do this here. So if we're downloading PDF for print, we're going to keep the crop marks and bleed. And then down here under color profile, a lot of online printers will only take things in CMYK, or they will change it for you to their version of CMYK, because they're two different color profiles, the RGB and CMYK. So again, Canva's tipping you off here. CMYK is best for professional printing. And so we would choose that and then download. And so I'm going to show you what it looks like once we download it, as in terms of like showing you the print, the bleed, the crop marks. So it takes a little bit longer to download the PDF for printing because it's a higher quality. But so here, let's see this. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm going to make it. So this is, maybe you can see this example here. These little lines are your crop marks. So you know that that your design has gone far enough over. Let's look at the other corner, because it might not have on that side. Sorry, I didn't realize it'd be so small. So yes, it's covered on this side too, but you can see see this dark line right here. If I wanted that, I didn't want there to be any line between here and here. I would want to pull out this dark line a little farther. Probably not anything anyone would notice, but that's just an example of why you might want to print out those, or when you download it, not print it out, but why you might want your file to have those crop marks so that you can go ahead and make sure that you've covered what you would need to. And then I would just take this and upload it to wherever I was going to print it. Another way that we use graphics a lot is for different digital, like on our website or in, I use it a lot. So we use for our newsletters, a printed newsletter, I would create completely on Canva. Our email newsletters, we are still using Constant Contact for our email newsletters. So there is a link that's already there, and that may be something that gets better, but my experience so far is that it's almost easier to just create it in Canva, download the PNG, and then upload it to Constant Contact. And I know that's extra steps. Like I said, there is a link there that they're working on, and it's getting better, but the last time I used it, it wasn't, it was just too cumbersome. So that's what I'm currently doing. So we have a family camp coming up. I created this in Canva, and I'm going to show you in a minute how I put it into the email. I'll just show you now. So this was the newsletter that we emailed out. This is just the Constant Contact copy. And you can see that family camp is down at the bottom. All of these graphics I made in Canva, and then brought over to, uploaded them to Constant Contact. Same with MailChimp. I think MailChimp's connection might be better. I'm not totally, but I don't use it, so I'm not totally sure. So this little thing is something that I just did for the first time. That was kind of fun. I made this GIF in Canva. And, thinking about email newsletters. Now, you remember I work for a youth camp. So, we want color and whimsy and fun. And so, depending on what your nonprofit is doing, you may have a different type of GIF, but, it's hard when you get so many emails and you want yours to stand out. And this one with the GIF right there with the kids jumping at the beginning, actually like I really increase our open rate. So I'll show you in Canva the way I did that. I'm going to go to this one. I had actually uploaded, and if you aren't familiar with over here, I did cover those in the first one, but go over to upload, and then you can upload files. And I uploaded this video, and you can see under, when you go over to uploads, it's going to show you images that you've uploaded and videos, audio. So I uploaded this video that someone else in my organization had created, and I pulled it down to this little, like 1 second clip, and there's music that goes along with the video, but then I added this text, and that's over here where it says text, and I added a heading or subheading. I added this. Actually, I think what I did was this, I liked the way this one looked, and so I put that on there and just changed the colors. And then I clicked on effects. Nope, not effects. I clicked on animate. Let's see where animate is. And that is how, there we go. Oh, here we go. So this said animate before, and what I animated was with the neon where it kind of flickers, and you can animate with, whatever, if you want it to be more ascending, shifting, anyway. And then so I clicked on share, download, and I didn't want it to be a video because I wanted it to be small and to be able to be embedded in my email. So I downloaded it as a GIF, and I actually made the size smaller than that because Constant Contact, it had to be under a certain size, and then downloaded from there, then uploaded to Constant Contact. So those are a few little tricks with doing that. So then I'm going to go back to I'm sorry, the way there we go. Sorry, the way my screen is going, I can't get underneath. Actually, maybe I can turn this off. There you go. Perfect. It was maybe the same for you, but it's different for me now. So the other thing is you can share directly to social media. So you can download and then upload to social media. If you are using some kind of content planner, that might actually be the best thing for you. But you can, so under share on social, and you back under that account settings that we started at, where the little like gear where we did the team, there's a place that you can connect to your social media there. So here it's going to ask me, how do I want to publish it? And I can say I want to publish it on my Facebook page. It knows that I've already connected it, and I can write what I want it to do and then do publish now. And I'll go straight to the page. The other thing you can do, which I think this is really cool, is go to this little guy. It's a calendar. Also, another way you can get it to it is under share and schedule. And I could say, well, I really don't want this to go out today because family camp we don't start registration till May. So I might say May 4th is a good time. And then I can schedule it to go out on May 4th at whatever time. And let's say, I just want to say family camp is coming soon, or schedule, and then it's going to prepare the design for scheduling.
So Shelley, can you select multiple social media and post them all at one time, or do you have to do it individually?
I do not know I think you have to do it individually, but I don't know the answer to that for sure. That would be one of those things. So anything like that you might say, I remember she said we could do this, but I don't know how to do it. Google it. That's what I do whenever I can't find something, because Canva definitely has a lot of people out there giving tips. So so it's saying my design is scheduled. If I want to go to the content planner, it takes me there. So this is the one that I already had said that I wanted to do. So it says it's scheduled.
Is this the preview? Is there any way to preview what it'll look like before you post it?
I think I mean, it's just gonna be this, that posts. And then underneath Family Campus coming soon. So it doesn't show it, I guess, like what it's gonna look like on Facebook. But it should be basic, just this photo. And so now you can go here and look under your calendar, and it shows you, oh, you've got something scheduled to go out on that day. So this does not, as of now, from what I can tell, this does not, you can't link like your Google Calendar or other calendars with it, because that would be very nice to be able to say, oh, I know this is coming up, and so I want to post this on whatever day. But this, certainly is an option. I think there are probably other tools out there that you can use that would connect them all, but this is what Canva offers. That's really cool. And if you're doing all of your content through Canva, then I would go this route. We do a lot of content through Canva. I don't actually run the social media page. We let the younger staff do the social media page, as we are gearing towards college kids for staffing, and high school, middle school kids for campers. So you can also go to a date and click on that little plus sign, and it'll take you through recent posts that recent graphics that you've done, and you can add them in. So one thing, I'm going to see if I have one. I think this version of this I have, yeah. So this is something I actually have multiple pages. It's that same one. I had just made a copy of it for our demonstration today. So you can see here, I have a few others that I've done. So I can say, well, actually, I can post all the pages together, or I can go under, so you select the channel. This is my Instagram one. You then can select which page, like just page 4. Well, yeah. So Instagram only accepts 1 page per post, so you have to choose what it would be. But if you did Facebook, then you could do the 4 together. So those are some options in terms of planning as well.
So Shelley, do we have to check, or will calendar reminders be sent to Canva?
I do not know the answer to that. Calendar reminders of if the day before, if it's going to go out. I don't think that there are reminders, but you would, I mean, you can check, yeah, to see if it's posted. Like I said, I haven't actually done that, so that's more of an educated guess.
Can you quickly go back to how you got to the content planner?
Yes. So the best way to get to the content planner, if you're just going to the content planner, is from home. So I'm going to click Canva, just the home page, and then it's under apps, and then under recommended content planners first. It used to have its own, like I said, they do change things around. So if you can't find something, you have this little question button over here to find it. You can always search for it, but content planner, that's where that is. The other way we got there was from the actual design. Oops, sorry about that. From the design, I'm going to open this one, and so editing design will pause the scheduled post. So it's saying this design is already scheduled. If you edit it now, then you're going to have to reschedule it. So let's do that, because So because I want to be able to edit it, but we also got to it from over here under share and then schedule with the little calendar. One other thing while I've got this one up that I wanted to show you guys, and I mentioned this last week, but it's something that I think when you create a graphic for, especially for an event, you might be promoting it on social media. You might be promoting it on your website. You might be promoting it via flyers, but you might want to use the same basic design, but they're just gonna be different sizes because everything on Instagram is square. So let's say on your website, you have to do, it has to be a different pixel. So you pixelate different pixel measurement. So if you go over to resize, again, this is something you can only do in the Pro version. So this is the normal Instagram size, 1080 by 1080. And most times, like I know on our website, I've got a little section that I put graphics in, and I know that they have to be, you know, I think the 700 by 450 that I put in here before. So let's say that that's it. So 700 by 450. You can also change this to inches or, you know, some other kind of measurement if you don't know the pixels. So you can keep this design, your Instagram one, but you can then copy, it'll copy the whole file. It'll be a new file. And then, so this is the size for your other graphic. And so here, then you just can kind of take what you've already done with the colors you've already done and, you know, just move them around where it fits for this sizing. So you don't have to like reinvent the wheel, I guess. And, you know, I think that, so just, you know, quickly, like I would do, something like that. And I'm moving this little piece of tape over and, you know, I might want to make this bigger, you know, to fit in, but just to kind of give you an idea, you're basically, you know, just using that same, the same design, but doing it, so obviously it would need a little more work, but something like that. And just, okay, in terms of like, some little creative things. So when I'm looking at this, there's a few little spacing issues here, but it's hard to read this now, right? But let's say that's the space I have for it. One suggestion I would say when you're trying to kind of make something like this work is to go over to elements and just pick a simple shape. Circle's always good. And you can make it, you know, you can make it just a circle, or you could make it more of like, you know, something like this on the side of the page where that white is showing up better. You could, yeah, so let's do that. But then let's say I kind of want to still be able to see the photo behind it. You've got your circle here. It did pick a color right off that looks pretty good with it, but you could, while I clicked on the circle, you can go up here to the color and change the color if you'd like. And then you could also click over here. It's all the way to the right with these little 3 dots and change the transparency of it. So you can make it a little bit lighter where you can still see the words better, but you can also still see the photo behind it. That's just a little trick that we use a lot. We use a lot of photos being a camp for kids. So those are just some ideas. Another thing with photos or even anything that is like you want something to stand out. So let's say what I really want to stand out here is the September, the date. If you go to effects, so you're clicked on the text and go to effects, there's this lift as as an option, and you can make it more intense or less intense. I don't know if you can really tell on this one, but just pulled that up off the page a little bit. This might not be the best font to look at it in. We could change it to, I'm just going to make this bigger and so you can see what I'm talking about. So that is with the lift. And if you take off the lift, it's just a little bit of a, so now it just kind of looks flat. But when I had that lift on it, it just gives it almost a little bit of depth and helps it to pop out a little. It's a minor thing, but it's something that I find if I'm looking at something and say, why this just looks flat to me. That's a little trick that I use sometimes. Okay. I'm going to move on now to walk through. I want to walk through two things. One, so I'm going to close all of these. One is the board presentation. So I am going to I'm not going to complete a board presentation, but I want to show you if you were starting from scratch with a board presentation, how you might want to do it. So you can start off with just here's your homepage. You can go over to create a design. And if you go down through these, you'll see presentation as one of the options, or you see it here under just presentations is something you want to create. It's going to give you a couple different, like, is it a mobile presentation or, whatever, but this is just your basic presentation, kind of like a PowerPoint. I said last time, and I still say that if you are new to Canva for sure, or new to design, really, maybe not new to Canva, but new to design, these templates at the top here are great to get you started. So you can look through, so let's type in board presentation. So some of this it's actually saying like, oh, vision board. You might need to do, it might need to be more like board of directors. Let's take off presentation. So you can look specifically for those things, and sometimes it'll come up voting board, brainstorm. This is still kind of getting more on the, here's a pitch deck that, kind of looks good. But if you take that off and you're just looking at, these are the regular templates that would be used for presentations, I would just look for something that, kind of sort of fits your, the feeling of what you want your presentation to be. So if it's like, to a group of, if I was doing it for a group of campers, I might want to do something cute and whimsical. If I was doing something for the board, though, I might want to do something a little bit more basic. And I picked this one earlier, this minimum pitch deck, kind of like just a plain basic. So now it's giving you ideas over here of what you could do in your meeting and what kinds of ways you have to give your information in a creative way. So all of this is editable. So my first thing when I look at this is I don't want all this extra stuff. I mean, it might fit for some types of organizations, but not really for what I'm trying to do. So you can easily just click those things and delete them. Maybe this color is like, I like the color, but I want it to be a little bit more fun. So I can even go over to my brand. We talked about how you can put in your brand colors at the last one, and I can choose, a color out of there if I want to do that. So you can see down here, you've got that first, that's your title page. You can go over to the second one, go back to design. You can look at any of these that you could build off of if you liked them. So it's just basically giving you some like, oh, well, this would be a clever way to give some information if you had 4 things that you are trying to communicate, or, just giving you some ideas that kind of start you thinking. You know, yeah, lots of options here. Or you can do, so these were all, templates that I put on there. So you can keep those or you can delete those. Or you can start a new page on your own. So let's say the first thing we're going to do is a graph of campers over the last few years. So go under elements, and under elements, I have a section called charts down here. And if I click on that, it shows me all the different kinds of charts I have. Let's just go basic bar chart so that this will be pretty clear. So let's say we're going to do male campers and female campers, and we don't need the rest of them. Let's say we're just going to do that. Oops. And then let's do 2020, 2021, 2022. So really basic here. We don't need this one. We don't need these. So you just basically highlight it. You can right click on it and delete it. Similar to Excel there. So then you just type in your numbers. So I'm just going to make up some numbers here because this is just for, not 800. And then you've got your chart. So you can do it with, tons of data points or just a few data points or whatever. So, but again, this one, very basic. You can choose for the chart under settings. So I've clicked on the chart. That's what brings this up over here. I can say show legend. And so it's going to show me what my bars stand for. These weren't really the colors that we were using before. So let's say we want to change them up to colors that, kind of more so fit our brand. The colors are here, click on them and it changes. You can click on the other one. One thing, this is another little trick. If you aren't necessarily wanting to use okay, we just use navy. I don't necessarily want to use green. I just kind of want to stay in the family. This is a little trick that I'll use. I'll click on the color that I just used. So that's the navy one. And then click on this little button here, the plus, and that's giving you the color scheme. And so you could say, I want a color that's similar to this, but lighter. And that gives you a color that, they look visually appealing together. They're in the same family, but it's a different, a different color. So that's kind of a little trick. So yeah, so this is kind of, this is what I wanted to show you guys about the board presentation and graphs report. So you have so many options here, infographic charts, pie charts. You can even type in under the templates, infographics, and there'll be a ton of options. So, there's a lot to go on here.
Could this be exported to a presentation in PowerPoint?
Okay, yes, let's see. You can export it here, your choices. So don't know that it can be exported to PowerPoint, but you can present it from here. And you can even present and record. So you could do kind of what you had at the beginning of this, where you're explaining everything in a recorded version, and then you could download that as MP4. So that was under here, download as, the video might be, or if you're wanting to put it on, I don't know much about SVG, so I'm not sure that I can speak to that one. So so yeah, you can present it from here, and you can even with, let's see, if we download now to a PDF, it's just going to be that standard. But if we download it to the video, I think it will show this. Yeah, that's something that maybe it'd be worth Googling. I haven't done that yet, but you can present directly from here.
So it looks like someone says if you select more under share, there's an icon to download into PowerPoint.
There you go. Thank you. That's the whole thing, is that there's always someone who has a little bit. So under download, we did this. I don't see more, but is that where you said?
I said there's if you select more.
Oh, look, I
there
just
it is.
keep scrolling down. There's where I was missed it. So yeah, so then more, and you can publish it. And all the, there you go, Microsoft PowerPoint. Thank you, person. I appreciate that. So there you go. You can download it to any of these places, to your Google Drive, or OneDrive, MailChimp. That is where, so you can download directly to MailChimp, which is nice. Then it's already in your MailChimp account. The Constant Contact one is not that fluid yet. Okay, we have 9 more minutes, and my plan for this last 9 minutes is to go through a Instagram post from start to finish. And what I wanted to do is, I was trying to think about what kind of campaigns that most, that would kind of be across the board. And so one of the ones I was thinking of was doing like a spotlight. I know one thing we'll do like Throwback Thursday or whatever. So maybe like Monday is spotlight on an employee, or spotlight on a, on a client or something like that. So I'm going to create a design, and Instagram post is what I was doing here. And I was looking at these earlier, but you can go over in here and you can type in, I think I even did spotlight employee, and they've got all these options of things that, any type of design you could possibly want is in here. I think, as you get more comfortable with Canva, I think you'll find that you end up starting it from scratch, and you kind of know what you want. But I always say at the very beginning, or if I'm not really sure what I want to do with something, it's a good place to start. So I kind of like this guy with his face, big photo. So I'm going to pick this one. But then, like I said before, everything is editable. So employee of the month, I work for camp. We're not doing employee of the month, but we might do summer staff of the month. Maybe not of the month. Maybe it would really be of the week, because we want to do this like once a week on our social media. I'm not super crazy about this font. I feel like I really can't read it that well. So you click on it, you go over to the script. Go up here to the font, and it gives you options. You'll find that you start learning which fonts you like. Here says popular fonts, so it gives you some that you could look at. Or you can also go into click in here in this search button and look for ones, like if you want it to stay script or whatever. Let's do this handwriting one that was up here, and it'll show you only fonts that look like handwriting kind of things. So I'm going to see, I kind of want to do something a little bit more. Here, I like this one, playlist script. I've used that before. I just saw that. I'll just type it in up here. I can. Okay, so that's just, to me, a little bit easier to read. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And then of the week, I'm not crazy about that one either. Again, you kind of go and you start figuring out what you like and what you don't like, or what things go together. I kind of want of the week to not be that big of a deal. I want it to be more on the summer staff. So let's say we have summer staff of the week. And then I don't want it to say congratulations, because that's not what we're doing. I'm going to go over to my images. So remember, you can upload images here. These are all the images that have been uploaded that are not currently in folders. If you've organized your stuff, which, then, which I'm not great at doing, but I did in preparation for the last class, then your images are probably going to be under projects, which has all of your folders in it. So I'm just going to go to images here and pick. So actually so this is a photo, and you can see as I'm going to drag, I clicked on it and it brought it up and I kind of drag it around, and it is a frame. It is this element right here is supposed to have a photo inside it. So it's a frame. We went over those in the last session as well. So it wants a photo to attach to it. So another way I could have done that is like brought it over. I'll use a different photo, like just brought it over and it will attach to it. So let's say this is our summer staff of the week. If I want it to fit better, this is kind of like looking at spacing and how to manage a photograph. You double click on it, and then you can make this kind of make the photo fit into that frame section a little bit more centered if you wanted, or and you saw as I moved it around, it gave me my lines, so I know kind of what would be the center. It'll do that on everything, anything that you move. It's going to tell you, you see these lines popping up. It's showing you, okay, are you wanting to align it with the photo here? Are you wanting to align it down the middle? It's already giving you those ideas as to what you may want to do. Okay, on this background, kind of boring for a camp. So like I said, all of these things that you see as I'm putting my mouse over, that they all are individual elements. So let's click on this. Remember, they show you over here on what are the photo colors that you already have. So can kind of bring out that pink. It's a good pop of color. I'm not sure about these little white spots. I'm just going to take those off. These little pluses here, just take those off. They don't really fit the vibe of what I'm trying to do, I don't think. Then I'm clicking on here, choose another color that would go in. And this piece also you could change if you wanted. Let's just delete that. So this is a little cleaner. I might want to change this color as either a pop or matching. Might want it to be a little bit bigger. And let's say Danny is really her name. So we'll just leave that on there. So this is looking a little bit more like our brand. I would suggest, if you have for your logo, to always have a white version of your logo, because it doesn't say Camp Crest anywhere on there. So I want to bring this part of my logo, and you can see it wants to take that in as part of the picture. So this is another little trick when it's doing that, when it's trying to grab it as part of the photo. And this is a logo that I had uploaded already. You can use your little arrow keys on your keyboard instead. So I moved it right there. So like maybe a little smaller, but like then that's got our brand on it. That feels a little bit more like what, looks more like what we would do. And if you wanted to do something eye-catching, you could also go to elements and look under like stickers. like do one of these arrow stickers. So you see that has the movement in it, which is kind of fun. You can turn it however you want to, make the sizing however you want to. And then, you know, okay, that's saying that Danny girl is our summer staff of the week. You know, again, we did this in a few minutes. You could, let's say you don't want it to be that square and you want, we did this last time where you can edit the photo. You clicked on the photo, edit photo, and you could take out the background. If you wanted it to be more, you know, less like it was looking kind of like a Polaroid, you know, but if you wanted to have like, you know, this kind of more, you know, something bigger. I'm just going to undo all of that to go back to the way we had it. Let's see, there we go. So, okay, so this is, you know, we started, I'm going to go back to that so you can see, we started with that guy and, oh, yeah. And so ended with something that looks a little bit more like our brand and what we would publish. So let's say we're doing these every Monday and we kind of want it to have the same look. I'm going to delete that page so that we can. So let's say this is our first week, and then I can duplicate this page and it's got kind of the same feel to it, but I could use a different image. So I can pull, pull them in twice. So I can pull this guy in, again, double click and move the photo down. Obviously these pinks don't really go. So again, you might want to use colors that maybe make more sense with the photo. You know, this is just kind of showing you a way you can take the one, you know, you can take them and they can look familiar the same week after week, but you know, it can be a different person. And you can always add different elements each week. So let's see here, we'll make that green. So this is a different look, but it looks like it's part of the same campaign. Another thing with like an element, you could choose something that went behind this Camp Lore crest, like that one, it kind of fades away right there. So one idea would be to do like, I don't know, let's see, a sticker that would be like a flashing circle. See if that's like a thing. So these are, yeah, kind of circles that go all the way around. I was thinking of one that, here we go, like something like this. Maybe a little much, but anyway, moving it behind. Let's not do that one. That's a little much. Let's see if there's another one. Anyway, we'll just do a regular circle, not a flashing one, but there, you know, there could be something, you could have something that's moving or whatever. And we can choose a color. Let's say we want it to be blue, but not the exact same blue. Again, I clicked on the blue I used before, and then I'm going to choose something that's kind of in the same family. Something like that. And then you can go click on this in order to layer. You click on it, right click, and then layer. I don't know why that's not working. Right click, layer, and then for whatever reason, it's bumping me out of there. Layer, send backwards. So now you can see we've got, you know, so that Camp Lore crest stands out a little bit more. We can make that a little smaller, but generally that's showing you. Here's one other thing I'm going to throw out there that is really helpful. And I know I'm over time already, but I do think this is something worth remembering, is that sometimes, like mostly with spacing, it'll, you know, works just like you want it to. But sometimes it's like you can't quite get it to move to the right spot, the way you deal with this is you increase the size. So you can do that down here at the bottom, or you can just kind of spread like your fingers to increase the size of the page. And then that will allow that extra. So you see, even there, it's not going, it's like missing a pixel going up and down. So I can make it even larger. And when I do that, it seems to fit better. So something like that. So that is definitely a trick. That's something that I know that Adobe products you have to sometimes do as well, but same in here. So that's what I have. If you guys have any questions or want to give me any tips, there were a few things that people had asked about that I didn't get to today, but would love to, some things that I didn't even know Canva could do. So I want to continue to work on those things and maybe be able to share a little bit more when I learn more.
Thank you so much, Shelley. That was amazing. A lot of amazing tips and tricks. We've got, I think this was the most active question Q&A chat room we've ever done on a webinar. So a lot of interest. So if you are interested in getting some more tips and tricks, or if you are looking for something more specific to what you're working on, feel free to reach out. We'll try and match you with a volunteer who is like Shelley, or maybe is Shelley, if she's available and interested, for some one-on-one coaching. We do have that available. Other than that, please expect an email from me. Like I said, it will include the recording, so you can go back and look at all this amazing tips, try it out yourself. Other than that, feel free to reach out. Any questions, comments, recommendations on future webinars, please do let me know. And we'll go ahead and let everyone go. Thank you again so much, Shelley.
Thank you.
Take care.